just a man. Oh, what the rock?
Recording live from count them, 3 locations. This is Past the Rock. I'm Patrick, and as always, I am joined by 2 great inmates. Caesar, aka LCs.
Hey man, unlike a certain former Michigan coach, my stuff will not be live streamed for the public to see.
And Jacob, aka Bethke.
And you said continuity-wise, always, you were not with us last week, so that's why you have the inmates in this situation in the first place. Okay.
Yeah, this is what's the word? Not serialized. The other word.
Canonical?
I guess so. Keep picking different colors here. Anyways, yeah. So we're back.
So last week's episode was not canon to our lore.
No, it is. It is,
Right.
And that's why I'd introduce you as inmates today.
Oh,
I didn't want to.
He had to canonize us. Yeah. It's a retcon that the studio forced on him.
So yeah, I was out last week. Went down to Austin to see the band Thursday. They were playing with Silverstein and some other bands I don't know. Steph really wanted to go see it. She's a big Thursday fan. Pretty cool. This place called Radio East out in like South Austin, like whatever the next big street is south of Riverside, and then all the way east.
Very nice.
It was a cool venue. Like I didn't even go inside the building aspect. There's like a stage, a huge area of people to stand. There's like an outdoor bar. Then it like circles back around. And there's like a whole other outdoor patio. It's huge and it's a really cool place. If anyone that you like is ever playing at Radio East, I suggest giving it a try. The parking sucks. I don't really know what the real deal is there. We ended up just parking really far away and walking.
You don't know what the deal with parking in Austin was?
Well, at that specific location, we didn't like really check out because it's like out there, kind of,
Where did you see this?
It's like south of downtown, south of Riverside,
Radio East,
and far east, like towards the airport.
Yeah, nice. Well, Thursday I know a little bit of.
They're really cool, man. I hadn't heard.
Oh wow, that is really out there.
Yeah, I somehow missed them in my
I used to work over
years.
Here back in the day.
Yeah, I pretty much lived just right there on Riverside, a little bit further, but they're a cool band. If you like something like Take Back Sunday or like The Used or something, they're kind of like the originators of stuff, some of the stuff like that, or Census Fail, kind of that era.
I haven't done a dive onto them. I know that only song I know by them was they covered Buzzcocks, Ever Fallen in Love with Someone for the Tony Hawk game.
Ah, cool.
And that was a really good one.
That's probably why. Yeah, that's probably why Steph originally found out who they were from playing with a bunch of Tony Hawk. That checks out.
Because Tony Hawk had a bunch of those bands remake basically songs that were at the time hard to get in HQ, especially
or to get the license for
licensing. Yeah, there was just a lot of, so they had all the punk bands, the young ones at the time, do it, and yeah, they had a really good rendition of that one.
Yeah, I got this cool pink sweater.
Oh, it's a sweater. Very nice.
It says the kids are still screaming, which I think was the name of the tour. Or something.
How much output has Thursday had?
Not much.
Oh, that's good. They just
what I know.
Thursday Disco is also a group, so I can't just type in Thursday discography and expect that to work.
But that was fun. A nice trip. We drove back immediately after, so didn't do a whole lot of actual Austin stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm a little surprised you weren't able to park as much over in that area, but
it's just kind of
it's a bunch of factories and stuff. Like I said,
yeah,
I used to work out
it's like it's like there were probably plenty of places we could have parked, but it's like, do you risk the $500 something and the extra 5 hours to get your stuff? So
yeah.
But anyways, that's where I was. Good time. Glad to be back. I should be around for a long time now. I don't think I'll be missing any actual like recordings for a bit. we'll see what the output looks like over the next couple weeks. But we'll have something for everybody, for the whole wide audience.
For the fan.
But yeah, we'll move into actual sports, big sports news this week. So we're gonna have C's come in and try to explain to us the what to think about the retiring of John Cena from the WWE.
Oh wow, okay, that's a loaded question. Okay, so let's talk
now?
about it, right? Yeah, let's just get right into John Cena's. So, for those of y'all who may not necessarily be familiar with WWE or haven't been plugged in for a while, because some casual fans just cycle in and out. The biggest name in wrestling of the last 22, 23 years, John Cena, called it a career on December 13th, my birthday, by the way. So,
oh shit! Happy late birthday!
Oh, no worries. Thank you, guys. But called it a career on WWE Saturday night main event against Gunther. Guys, first of all, let me tell you about the setup for the event. It was 4 matches, 4 across a 2-hour span. So the pace was awful. Absolutely disgusting. A lot of filler and not a lot of thriller, if you will. All right. All the matches preceding this were left a lot to be desired. There were some nice highlight moments. But let's talk about John's match. John Cena's entire mantra for the past 15 years, we'll say that, of his career, has been hustle, loyalty, respect, and never give up. Right? So for the entirety of his run of, say, circa 2005, there's been this mantra, or this saying on the internet, Super Cena, right? Cena's going to win. He's never going to tap out. He's never going to give up. He's never going to quit. And so he usually doesn't lose. And when he does, it's usually by pinfall or submission. It's usually by pinfall, not submission. Gunther, big, tall Austrian guy, choked him out and made him tap. And it was just this really long, prolonged sequence of him having him in what is known as a sleeper hold, and John teasing that he's going to break out of the hold. He'd have moments where he does, and then it gets put back in. And you think John Cena's going to go out on his shield, or he's going to find a way to overcome and, somehow get the win and go out on top. That's not what happened. What ended up happening caused a visceral reaction amongst the 19,000 people in attendance in where the Washington Wizards play. Bethke, if you know the name of that arena off the top of your head.
Oh, fuck. Capital One.
Capital One.
I was going to say the Tower of Isengard.
So, over 19,000 people witnessed John Cena do something that had not been done since about 2004, I want to say, where he tapped out. He gives this wry smile at the camera. Y'all probably already seen memes about it, but he's just like, and that's the weakest little tap you've ever seen.
So wait, I found some video on this. They, in the live show, they did the flashbacks as he's tapping out.
No. So WWE,
Okay.
yeah, WWE didn't edit because the WWE audience is not that intelligent. I'm part of that WWE audience begrudgingly, but they need to be spoon fed sometimes. And so the whole idea is you get the flashback, which they showed after the match, right? And then they pieced it with him tapping out at the end, signifying this is it. Like his career flashed before his eyes, and this is how he went out. Now the audience, when he tapped out, immediately yelling out bullshit. First, there was moments of this, just like what? This like shock, despair, disbelief, and then the bullshit chants start coming out in full force. John Cena just laughing, shaking his head like, yeah, like what can you do about it? And WWE trying to save face, sends out the entire locker room, to kind of congratulate John on a great career. But everybody hates this retirement run. Fellas, he's gone on an interview saying that he could work a full year, which is over 200 dates. I think he said he could work 220 dates for his final year. WWE, TKO, and the guy running the show, Triple H, said, nah, we only need about 36. 36 dates. And in those 36 dates, it has been filled with nothing but confusing booking decisions, terrible matches, and just no real direction for what this is supposed to be and how it's supposed to go. And unfortunately, if you've known anything about John Cena's entire career and his connection to the McMahons, he's just essentially been groomed to be the perfect PR soldier. Just nods his head and goes along with whatever he liked or whatever they like, and not really complain or throw his own weight around. Unless, there's been a few occasions where he's been accused of that. For the most part, he just goes with what is thrown his way. And so a lot of fans were complaining, John, why aren't you just throwing your weight around? You are the biggest star this company's produced since The Rock, right? And, Triple H comes out, who now runs WWE, and you have people cussing this man out. Somebody was caught on a mic telling him to go off himself. As soon as the cameras pan to Triple H, the entire audience is absolutely livid with his presence here because he's calling the shots. John Cena has said in interviews, indirectly, he has no control of this. And Triple H has gone in an interview saying, well, this is John's, decisions. This is what John wants. Triple H, a notorious liar, notorious backstabber, politician, if you will, in the WWE world. So nobody really believes anything he's buying. So you had all this to say that John Cena's retirement tour and his final match gets an F. Yeah, the whole thing was a monumental failure, not just for the fans, but to John himself, who, listen, you've probably, if you haven't heard anything about John Cena, you've probably heard about his Make-A-Wish Foundation, wishes granted is like a record that might never be touched by another athlete or celebrity or person of importance. The guy just absolutely incredible, being able to go to all of these different Make-A-Wish things and being able to, bring some joy to the kids, right? This is what he was.
I'm sorry. I typed in Triple H's name on X or Twitter. That naming is good here. And I am absolutely baffled at some of these. Continue, though. John Cena is a good person. Continue with that message.
Yeah. So he has definitely made himself to be as good of a person as he can be, especially coming out of the pro wrestling industry, which has some pretty shady people in it.
Triple H.
Oh, yeah.
In the front 3 rows or 4 rows.
And, there is this theory out there being floated, guys.
The wrestling, WWE is they don't kick those people out.
Oh, no,
the NBA and the NFL seem to before you don't even see stuff like that.
Oh, they just take the signs away. That's pretty much.
It might depend. There might be levels to it, but yeah, generally you're going to get away with more at these wrestling events than you will at the.
There was for a while a mandate by Vince McMahon where signs just weren't allowed. They really.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably smart.
Imagine.
But anyway. But back to this thing, though. There is one thing that's floating around that John Cena was not actually meant to tap out. He was going to just pass out and just lose the match that way. And this was his middle finger to Triple H by tapping out, because there's a video that shows Gunther talking to the ref, and he's doing this motion like he tapped out. He tapped like that wasn't supposed to be part of the plan, and that's why maybe John made that really wry smile and was like, hey, fuck you guys. I'm tapping out. I'm giving up because of my whole mantra of never giving up. Yeah, it ends now. This is over.
And we got someone else giving up on the WWE this week.
Oh, let's see it.
Mick Foley.
Yep. But that's less to do with what John did and more about to do what WWE's doing. And who they align themselves with.
It's crazy the way they talk about Triple H.
What's
I
wild
can't
is
repeat any of this.
18
I
months
can't
ago
repeat
when
a
me and
fucking
Caesar
tweet.
were first talking about WrestleMania, it was like we were talking about, hey, they're doing a good job, like this new group, like they're really
Yeah, dude, they were
things.
on top of things, man. They were firing on all cylinders. They had direction. They had every base covered. They were putting on good matches, and they were great, putting out great stories for their product. And then 2024 comes around, and everything just starts immediately
Did
cratering to the ground.
The Rock like strike a deal with Triple H to make Cena's retirement suck?
I don't think so, because Triple H and The Rock don't fuck with each other, and that's been known for some time. But yeah, a lot of people don't fuck with Triple H now, and as best you can look through Twitter, the people online are not happy with his existence, him being in charge, and so
Classic.
yeah, there's yes, that's been him this entire run, because nobody wanted to see Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, where John Cena gets his ass kicked, and then gets no revenge. Logan Paul versus John Cena was not something that people were craving. People did not want to see John Cena become a bad guy by kicking Cody Rhodes in the balls, aligning with The Rock, then The Rock disappears, then aligning with Travis Scott, but Travis Scott's a dipshit asshole who has no idea what he's doing.
Aligning with Trav. Sorry, I was with you that you said Travis Scott.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
God
yeah, man,
damn
it.
The
Some of the things that I've
the Mad Libs keep getting weirder as we get older here.
I will say this: the only thing I have to say about John Cena, who actually reflects the time when I stopped watching. When John Cena came into wrestling, I was pretty much already done with it. And
The white rapper didn't do it for you.
And then as soon as that was what they were like, here is your representation in this new changing world, I was like, you can go fuck yourself. How about that? I'm not Malibu's Most Wanted is not about to be my replacement for fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro.
Oh, but man, there's so much nostalgia for that version of John Cena.
And I'm sure it was, and I know it's good, and I know that people really do like it. I just, for me, that was when I was done. But I love Peacemaker; it's really good.
Yeah, I was about to say he's building and has a chance to become the best actor out of the WWE. Peacemaker's awesome, and I'd like to see him do some more stuff because I think he might actually have it.
And don't forget, he has something that a lot of people don't have, and that's a platinum-selling album.
Oh.
That's right, and it's not terrible. That's as most as I'll say about that one because I haven't listened to it in years. But yeah, man, he made George. He kept the Stone Cold George thing alive for a long time. And listen, he was just was he the great? Yeah, that face right there. That's the yeah. Fuck this.
This looks like it's made out of clay. The entire thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you see that face. You often like. Okay, I know we're laughing at it, but I do want to do like a reading of what his face is saying. And honestly, man, like that just looks like a guy who's checked out. That looks like a guy who's checked out. He's just like, yeah, and then tapped out, and you get the visceral reaction nobody wanted. WWE is now trying to erase the fact that the fans were calling out bullshit because like a few hours later they upload a clip showing the fan reactions being shock and awe of like, oh my god, what just happened, and just immediately remove the bullshit. Fuck you, Triple H. Like all that was overtaking everything. It took
there was audible fuck yous you could hear on the broadcast.
Yeah, man. Like I said, they caught on a mic somebody telling Triple H to go off himself. So it was a lot, and I can tell you right now, nobody was happy about it, and unfortunately, the show must go on in wrestling, and so that's just going to be John Cena's legacy. That final year, man.
And honestly, probably for the benefit of them, the fact that they just have like 7 shows a week, it doesn't matter if people are mad because they just don't have time to be mad about it.
Well, no, they do, because there's this one guy named Gunther who tapped him out. I want to give him some. He goes out on Monday Night Raw. He says 3 sentences, all right? He gets on the mic. He says, I did what I said I was going to do. I made John Cena give up. I made John Cena tap out like a little bitch. And then he doubles down after dropping the mic, grabs the mic back up, repeats it all over again, reminding the audience of the ending. And so he is going to milk this for months, because that's what you should do if in this situation as you're building this top bad guy character. So they're not going to be able to truly move on until Gunther essentially stops bringing it up. And WWE, ran by Triple H, is not going to let that happen, because he thinks in his head, oh man, it's going to build so much heat, brother. The audience is going to hate this. Yeah, we're just going to keep doing this. And all the attention, like, no, man, the audience is just going to keep being reminded about how bad this retirement tour was. So, yeah, that was it, fellas. John Cena's retirement tour went terribly as it could have. And it ended on a sour note. So,
all right. That's our biannual wrestling update for you. We'll do one of our also very few and far between stars updates here. So I think 2 weeks ago things were back to looking incredible. The Stars were on pace to finishing like a top 10 all-time team. They slowed down a little bit, but they're still doing really well. There's obviously I don't remember if I've been on since the Tyler Sagan injury, but Tyler Sagan is going to be out for the year.
I think we were able to mention that, but yeah.
I don't remember if that was when I was here or not, but he is out for the year. They haven't quite officially put him on the "you're not playing ever again" list, because they're looking at options for if he could potentially play in the playoffs. And the deadline's not for a while, so they've got some time before they potentially free up some cap space to go bulk the thing up even more. Unfortunately, we lost a pretty good young defenseman that we had to, because of his service time, we had to put him on waivers. And then someone else.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
take him
like some Finnish shit. But you're talking about like contractually service time.
Yeah. No. NHL service time. But still, the Stars, second place in the league, second place in the conference. Because of the dumb way the playoffs work, they're likely going to have to play the Avalanche in the second round instead of the third round, which no one likes, not us or them. I did a little digging today to figure out what the pace is looking like. So if the season, if the Stars continue on the pace they're at right now, they'd finish 20th all time for record for a regular season team, which would be, I think, like the fifth best second place finish in a season. The Avalanche are currently on pace to be the best team of all time. They just won't lose.
Jesus, what are their record?
So the Avalanche currently are 24-2-7.
So they're like doing
what the Thunder are doing. With the advantage of if they're tied in regulation, they still get a point if they get to overtime. Versus in the NBA, if you lose in overtime, it doesn't mean anything. You just played more. The Stars are 22-7-5. So like I said, they're doing well. So things are good. We'll see what happens as they're starting to turn into the trade deadline-ish time. Oh my God, Caesar just died. Fuck, that got too hot.
I was upset that the Colorado Avalanche are so good.
It's frustrating. I was looking, so in that list, I was trying to figure out, like, how did those teams all finish? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's like 8 of the top 25 records of all time have actually won the cup. So it's not necessarily a great determining factor, but
isn't that similar with baseball?
Baseball's probably a lot worse, honestly.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know, because the early years are going to heavily weigh towards those teams that just were like the Yankees being better than everybody all the time, so it didn't matter.
I suspect the NBA would be the most heavy on the other side of things.
Yeah,
winning most games usually translates to the title.
Yeah, I would think maybe. Although a lot of those like Spurs and Lakers teams would finish second.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on your average finish and how
But
you.
when you're talking about like the best of the best teams, that the Warriors team, 08, they lost.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of teams that did not make it too. But yeah,
But anyways, that's just some
nice.
brief updates.
I mean,
The Stars are awesome. They're really good. It's nice that we do have a team that's this good. I really need to go see them as many times as I can because they're not going to be at the AAC for long, I don't think.
yeah,
I
that one seems strange. But wouldn't it be closer?
mean, it doesn't because it's like either is the city going to help them put in the money to completely redo the AAC or should they just go somewhere where there's more money already? And I get why they would do that. It sucks for us, like the regular fan, but people who live in Plano, Frisco are going to love it. So
Wouldn't that be easier for you to get to than downtown?
No, because the Dart.
Oh, because you like to use the Dart, dude.
Yeah,
that's such
hopping
a
right
journey,
off
bro.
at the
Dude,
AAC.
You're a fucking soldier for doing Denton to.
Well, I mean, you drive from Denton to Carrollton and then hop on the Dart, but
Wait, does Denton not still go to Carrollton?
you can get on the DCTA, but it stops like 9 p.m., so you can't come back from Carrollton
Right.
past
Yeah.
9 p.m.
Right.
That was the roughest
yeah.
thing. Whenever I was
So
at
it was-
college, going to a Mavs game.
It would have been awesome, it'd be so cool if they do that. But I understand why the Stars want it. They really, the AAC has all those, like the entire mid-level is suites. And every time I've been over the last few years, a third to 2/3 of those are just dark the entire game.
Yeah.
And that's just, they're not, and the NHL versus NBA, they need that money. So
No, it's probably the right move. I guess my question would be: is it salvageable for them and the Wings to share an arena with whatever the decision is on how that goes? So
I guess it's possible, but I think the Wings are so far into what they're doing, it'd be.
Well, I mean, it's just an arena, you would think, and they play complete opposite schedules for the most part, or no, technically, completely. So it might be able to work, but yeah, I would bet.
But and then also like the Stars at this point want a hockey designed arena, obviously. So
well, and it's also simple as the part of Dallas that you're referring to them going to is full of a lot of people with money, just like in a way that Arlington was, where people want to pull something their way.
I would say more so like actual people who are going to go to games.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would say that's probably fair. It's probably the right decision ultimately.
It sucks if you're, someone like me who depends basically on the AAC being right at the Dart. But I get why the team.
Well, it's going to be
hockey doesn't have the TV deals that other sports have, and that's how it's always going to be.
If it makes you feel better, I think we probably get like maybe a decade out of the AAC for a cool like just concert venue and like a little cheaper, and then they'll.
I'm not going to it for that.
But it'll be cheaper than what it has been because there will be other arenas that these people want to sell out, so that'll kind of make it a little bit more marketable.
Maybe
AAC is a good concert venue. If you can afford a ticket to one of the shows, they never have that good value of tickets.
The only thing I've seen besides sports there was wrestling, which is basically sports. So
yeah, no, the concert, it's a good concert venue. I've seen a few things there. But yeah, I hope the Stars are good this year, but
they're very good. They're gonna make the playoffs as a high seed. They'll likely get to the second round at the worst, and could very easily win it. Could very easily lose in the second round to the Colorado Avalanche, who are currently slotted to be the best team that's ever existed.
Start calling them the Aw Shucks Stars, but
and not even by a small amount, by like a full. How do I read percentages? Like a full 100th of a percentage. That's yeah.
No, I mean it's tough, but they got trade value. They got any like?
Yes, yeah. So Jim Nill is probably a little hesitant to get rid of some of the younger guys. It's just if the right deal is there, and I just trust him entirely to make it at this point. He's been the best GM in most of sports for the last 5-6 years.
Jimothy Neal. I mean, look, he's done a good job. I've made a lot of jokes about this team falling off a cliff because they haven't won the thing, and it does happen in a lot of other sports. So,
I mean, you would think at some point it could, but they're the way that they've structured it with the aging, like as guys are aging out, other guys are filling that exactly role, So the long term Sagan thing sucks. It really sucks, especially if we haul off and win a cup this year and he doesn't get to actually be part of it. That would mean obviously you want to win, but that would just that would be a bittersweet thing. His first cup win, he was 18 and didn't really play much for the Bruins. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's about it for hockey. So we'll get into what we might have here for college football before we get into the meat of the episode today.
Meat.
We do basketball first.
Oh, we're doing. Did I read that wrong?
Or is basketball the meat? Are you considering basketball the meat?
I guess so at this point of the year.
Okay. Well, I mean, at this point, we're still transitioning into
With this week. Though this week isn't that college football heavy. There's some stuff, but
I would say that college football is a little heavier than the basketball.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
we're gonna get into the meat, which is the college football, and then we'll have basketball for dessert.
I like it because it is kind of like that. So I wanted to sort of just go off a few of the headlines of the transaction wire that is modern college football, and then we talk a little bit about the playoff, or just to at least keep people aware of the playoff. It's a weird break between the regular season ending and now the playoff. So biggest story coming out of this week overall ends up really coming to a head this morning, more or less, and then kind of unfolding throughout the day. Brian Smith, head coach of Ohio University, that's the Green Bobcat one. They fired him, and he was a first-year head coach. He went 8-4, I think, and then they're playing in a bowl game. So not your traditional firing from that sense. He was put on the first of the month. He was put on an academic suspension, or there was an investigation. He was put on suspension. And now it's come to a head, and they've officially fired him with conduct detrimental, if you will. It's paraphrasing, but that might as well be the same idea. Still have not given a lot of good indication what actually happened. Unlike the Sharon Moore situation, where we basically didn't get a second of it without it being documented, even to the point where, by the time we had gotten done reporting, he got arrested. I mean, there's so much more that's happened with Sharon Moore since we even talked about it that it's crazy. Look, this one is a little weird. There's initial reports, Patrick, you were talking about some of the rumors about it, this being a similar situation to Sharon Moore. Doesn't seem like it yet. Similar.
Not similar.
Well, similar in the fact that, it's the stereotype of college football coach with his dick in his hands, right?
Yeah, just Sharon Moore's immediately takes a left turn that makes it very, very different.
Sharon Moore is the most extreme case, if you will, of college football coach with his dick in his hand. This one may or may not have been that, but it seems like a local news outlet is now reporting this might have been drinking on the job. It could be both, low key, and only one of them is being reported. The PR that they gave us was 2 paragraphs.
Well, I know a coach who's been through that could use some good assistance. So,
well, and that's the thing: is this Sark, or is this good old boy behavior? And I'm not trying to excuse good old boy behavior, but this is football coach world, and even just what was being reported doesn't sound like it's definitely alcoholism, but it's
every school's different. He's not in Louisiana, so, and
maybe they just take it more seriously. That's fine too. It's Ohio though, so no offense to Ohio, but I'm gonna pause there a little bit. You're kind of you're the northern state. You're the northern state that is the most try-hardy about being Southern, and you're not at all Southern or affiliated, but culturally, Ohioans attempt to be as Southern as possible, and they don't.
Dakotas or Montana, Idaho also. Man, there's a lot.
But I think those people are authentically what a lot of the South cosplays as.
Well, I guess they're trying to be more Western than Southern.
Yeah, so. They're very much. Yeah, they're John Wayne clones over there for sure. But either way,
Pilgrim.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just don't know what to say with it. I just find it funny that it could have been potentially another college football coach with his dick in his hand a week after, or really simultaneously, if you think about it. And then I just find it funny that whatever, even if it was the alcoholism, like Ohio University is going out of their way to just not give anyone information on this. And now speculation has just gotten crazy as shit about it, right? To where who knows if there's some person's life that's being ruined online. Because I didn't dig deep enough into it, but look into the Sharon Moore thing. They had that girl's IG. They had everything with that about that girl factual. I mean, in the beginning, we didn't realize if it was factual or not. But then by the end of it, it was pretty clear. They had the internet had come up with a substantial amount of evidence to prove who this woman was in relation to this story. And it's just, you would think that it's a smarter PR strategy to go ahead and just find some sort of answer that gives people less reason to do that shit. In other college football coaching news, the second biggest news, Utah's head coach Kyle Whittingham finally retired. This had been long coming, but is still a little questionable. Utah just made a lot of decisions based on money, right? They're going to let private equity in. I think they're also part of a jersey patch deal. Utah, that could have maybe rubbed Kyle Whittingham the wrong way as an older guy. Maybe if there's the opportunity with Michigan that obviously is interesting to a lot of coaches. Either way, his defensive coordinator, Morgan Scalley, takes over. That had long been coming. So you could look at this as one way as an old coach retiring naturally. By the way, the most winningest at Utah. Also, would either of you guys guess who was the Utah coach before he took over the program?
Oh, yes. Urban Meyer.
Lane Kiffin, Urban Meyer.
Yeah, this would have been Urban Meyer's big break before taking over the Florida program. But yeah, so that was an interesting hire. I thought maybe if the Michigan thing was any sort of real legs, it probably would have already had more story to it. Seems, I would guess at this point, that Kyle Whittingham is actually retired, at least for the season.
You think Eric Morris is like, could have had the Michigan job?
I don't know if he's ready
Probably
for the
not.
Michigan job. I think he's smart for leveling up isn't the worst idea for these coaches. Baylor ends up hiring Kansas State's defensive coordinator. I think that's notable because UNT, last week we talked about, stole the defensive coordinator from Baylor. And this is probably wise because their head coach at Kansas State had retired, obviously, and now they're on the new regime. And so instead of Baylor keeping their guy, they basically let him seek the market. UNT was interested. UNT brings him in. And then now they seemingly upgrade by getting Kansas State's guy. I mean, Kansas State wasn't a great team last year, but Kansas State defensively, at least as far as the Big 12 has gone, their ability to just actually tackle defensive players has made them so much more elite in that conference than their opponents in the last decade. And other more sad UNT coaching news, offensive coordinator Jordan Davis likely poached by East Carolina, of all places.
Who, in conference?
Yeah, John David Baker was their guy.
To be a head coach? Or
No, he's going to be their OC too. Yeah, I mean it's a new regime, so Neil Brown,
sorry, I didn't even consider it.
North Crowley is head coach is going to be a part of the team as an assistant. We know that. We don't know what they'll do with the offensive coordinator, if this is going to happen or not, but that was last I heard. TCU hired UConn's offensive coordinator, which I thought makes a lot of sense, that they gave up Kendall Briles to Scar, basically, and how that kind of seemed like it went. And then Lenore Sellers will be going back to Scar to play with Kendall Briles for whatever reason he chooses to. This one's the most important for this week if you're betting. The Texas A&M Aggies have promoted their wide receivers coach to offensive coordinator. And that's effective immediately. So Colin Klein goes into his position with Kansas State now, since their guy retired, and the offensive coordinating play calling duties now go on to the former receivers coach in College Station.
I just don't understand why. I guess I don't know who would have to make this rule, the NCAA, so it wouldn't matter, but just you're not allowed to hire anyone until after the championship game or something. I don't know.
It's dreadful and everyone hates it, but I think some people have made this conversation and this comes from an ESPN podcast, so I want people to understand that it can't come from a more like corrupt place, right? But those guys on the with Pete Thamel and Reese Davis, they are very candid about how the NCAA works in college football, and they will basically say every time you think you have a good idea that's good for fans, good for teams, good for things, you can go ahead and bet that like it may not happen because ultimately it is just about people who are very almost non-football affiliated just controlling the money of the situation. And it is absolutely
I mean, there's just no one unifying body with any authority. So
exactly.
It's like the article is a confederation government. Didn't last. Turns out you need federal taxes. Anyways.
You need a little govy. So that happened. Coastal Carolina hires Missouri State's guy, Ryan Beard. And yes, he does have a beard. But that's just really an interesting hire from the fact that I think Coastal Carolina is a fun program that people sort of have gotten into with the branding. And I think branding helps you a little bit at the lower levels. Ultimately, they ended up firing a guy for going 6-6 this year. So I also think it's interesting how much they put an emphasis on winning. Memphis nabs a front office guy from Colorado who previously was at LSU. I thought that was just mildly interesting because all the shifts going on with those schools. I got a game for you guys. Oh, hold on.
Sorry, this isn't the note that I thought, but this is a funny note. Ryan Beard is married to Bobby Petrino's daughter.
All right. The more you know. Bobby Petrino, OC at fucking Coastal Carolina next year.
Beard took over for Bobby Petrino at Missouri State 2 years ago.
I see. That is a good note. Well, speaking of nepotism, UNC has decided
it's a little column A, a little column B. Like he was there before. He still worked his way through it, I think.
We'll see. UNC blows up the coaching staff. Two of the three big second names under Bill Belichick.
One that probably matters the most.
So Billy's still there, but they decided, hey, we need to shake this thing up. Year one didn't go so hot. Can you guys guess of the three people?
Lombardi.
No. These are the coaches. So the defensive coordinator, the offensive coordinator, the special teams coach. Two of the three were fired. Who do you think the two of them that were fired were? And why do you think the one kept his job?
Special teams coordinator kept his job because Bill already does that.
No, you guys have already forgotten one of the.
I don't know who any of them are. So.
No, but because you've forgotten
his
one
son.
of the funniest parts. One of the funniest parts of the North Carolina deal is the coach in waiting, Stephen Belichick, who is the defensive coordinator.
Now, I was like, wait a minute, there's some nepotism involved. I just know there is.
So, yeah, I thought that was funny. Freddie Kitchens, and that's a name you guys might remember from the NFL.
Oh, I remember that guy.
Freddie Kitchens is now out as the offensive coordinator of the Tar Heels. And the special teams coach not as notable, but he's fired too. In pettiness, Ole Miss hired the interim coach at LSU last year, Frank Wilson. Just thought that was funny. How do you guys feel about having your team announce re-signings in college football?
I hate it. I hate it so much. I know that's going to be the norm.
It might have been nice this offseason, but yeah.
I just hate the entire concept too.
They don't mean anything. No, the original signing doesn't mean much either until you actually coach a game, and it's like, all right, he'll probably be here for this season.
Yeah, but like the whole idea that like we're going to re-sign this kid, I'm like, wait a minute, this is college.
Players?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, players.
We're talking about players.
USC was the first. It seemed like USC was the one that went viral.
Oh no, I'm cool with
they
that.
Were announcing. They were announcing player re-signings on their social media.
You have to. You gotta brag about being able to keep people. I get it.
It is.
No, but I hate it on principle, man.
Do you like that Arch had Arch's? A source close to the situation had to tell the biggest insider at Texas that he's staying.
I do. Texas is such a weird thing because it's my school and I love it, but I don't understand they're not consistently very good. I don't understand how they get so much attention.
Well, it's the same thing as the Cowboys. It's just a brand thing for a
Yeah,
long,
for
long
sure,
time.
for sure.
The brand of burnt orange
And yeah,
the
I'm
Longhorns.
sure a lot of lobbying back in the day, and who knows. But
that too. It's the head start doesn't hurt with a lot of it.
it's always funny to me that we're like looked at as like, I don't know, as this like thing to hate. Where I'm like, but we're not that good.
Texas, I do. I mean, but that now you know how I feel about the Cowboys all the time. Like people fucking loathe our existence, and I'm like, it feels like being a Browns fan, except for everyone enjoys shitting on you.
People enjoy shitting on the Browns.
That's fair. Yeah, I think that people love gawking at the
We're
Browns.
peaks and valleys with them for sure.
I think people gawk at the Browns.
Well, we're getting back into them with Baker, and then then Deshaun happened to pull it all right back up. Yeah.
Maybe they can draft Malik Washington out of Maryland one day, but he's going to stay at Maryland. That's a big win for the Terps.
Transition.
He's a former 5-star kid who I think definitely got a lot of offers to get poached, but he made the choice to go to Maryland as an in-house kid. Terps aren't the worst program in the world. They're in a good conference. So,
I've still got PTSD. We opened the season with them 2 years in a row. I think they beat us both times, right?
But then that player went on to be one of your stars in the NFL. So it's salad deal with CD Lamb. Okay, so now it's time for the portal. Now it's time to talk about the unfortunate part, because that was basically him and Sellers were the biggest.
How did I not think to make a portal graphic? All right.
Well, you got one coming for next year. So number one story for the portal for us is the closest to our heart. Bye-bye, baby, Mestamaker. Not surprised much here, but I don't want to keep playing Debbie Downer with the UNT Mean Green. It's just a part of business.
It is wild to have the second best ever season for your entire program, and then have to be
it's the best.
Like, what's next? What do we got to do?
Yeah, but I think it's I think it's a fun challenge for them to accept, and I think they're a program ready to accept that challenge. Yeah, I think we're fortunate. Maybe I could be wrong. Neil Brown could bust, and it could set things back. But I do think ultimately there's a lot of good momentum here. It's going to be down to Indiana or Oklahoma State from early reports. Oklahoma State's quarterback announced that he's going to get into the portal. He's a little lesser known name, but I thought that was notable in this story. In this jostling, that kind of continues to confirm the idea that Drew would follow Eric to Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it'd be weird for Eric just to be like, "You're not my guy, pal. Get out of here." If he has something lined up,
literally my thing. But I mean, for him, Indiana could be a big. I mean, Indiana's a hell of a draw, and then you see what Mendoza's done, and you see the momentum they have. So. For Mestamaker, I mean, you have to seriously take Indiana into consideration. So don't necessarily think Oklahoma State's a done deal there is what I'm saying. And I think that's fair. If Mestamaker's going to leave UNT, he's going to be a very hot commodity, and I think that's fair. He showed a lot by the end of the year. Trinidad Chambliss is going to be playing Should I Stay or Should I Go seemingly throughout the rest of the postseason, depending on how Ole Miss does. Seems
with
like
the draft or with transferring.
With transferring, okay. I would believe. I don't think there's any draft talk for him yet. It seems very likely he would go with Lane. Lane kind of plucked him out of where he was. He wants to play with Lane's offense. He probably, Lane unseated the starter for him. It's just we know how that relationship with head coach and quarterback can go.
Do you think every Ole Miss win forces LSU boosters to add like an extra $1 million to his NIL deal?
I mean, it's not going to be cheap because, I think for LSU to win right away, one of the best things they could do is go ahead and make sure they've got quarterback ones good. And for him to be Trinidad Chambliss, you know what I mean? That's an incredible name for an LSU quarterback.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, so I do think that he'll end up following Lane to Louisiana State. Spoiler alert. But it seems like he's going to play for Ole Miss as long as this goes. And I guess maybe – is he Kawhi Leonard? That'd be funny. But I don't think so. I think they'll, I still wonder if they get past Tulane here, but we'll see. Dylan Raiola is going to go ahead and leave Nebraska, and then almost immediately after that was announced, we got a lot of flipping the script from the Husker Nation. Even one of the funniest reports being that he allegedly was requesting players be 10 to 15 yards behind him during player entrances when they run out of the tunnel. Like that he should lead and that they should maintain a healthy distance behind him.
That's okay. Wild.
Is it an ego thing? Does it have to do with the song that's being played just for the, he's like, he's a director, like he's like, this is going to hit better if we pause here.
No, you're giving him too much credit at that point.
Is it just continuing to follow along the Mahomes cosplay? I'm not picking up on it. I think all of these could be true. Either way, interesting name in the portal. I was surprised to hear Texas Tech would be interested in the portal, but they are actually seemingly active in the quarterback market. But Raiola not already being – that one's already shot down, so fun police have already been called. Texas had a couple of transfers. One of them I don't think has been official yet, but feels likely. And then one was a surprise, but not really. So Liafau on the defensive side, the linebacker, he ends up hitting the portal. Some say he said it was playing style, or the playing style for the team. Others have kind of noted where the rotation may have him phased out. Texas's defense was all over the place, to say the least. Like it had some NFL guys, and then it had a lot of guys learning on the job. So not super surprised there. And then DeAndre Moore, it seems like, is very likely to hit the portal. That one also doesn't surprise me because it seemed like he had no chemistry, no spark, no nothing at Texas. I hope that he can bounce back and play better, and maybe a situational thing. Maybe he wasn't a good fit for what they're doing. But I thought one of the worst aspects of the offense this season was no consistent wideout threat. And unfortunately, he was the guy we all thought was a lock to be a first rounder and, would have taken that team the next level. Kansas State's Jace Brown's going to hit the portal as a top target. Again, a lot of change happening with Kansas State, even though they're bringing back a K-State legend to coach. Just kind of is what it is there. Also, I think both of these are Texas worthy too. Auburn loses their freshman All-American cornerback to the transfer portal. So 2 positions of need for Texas. Just wink, wink there. Brendan Sorsby, DJ Lagway, Sam Levitt. If you're getting into the market, those are going to be your 3 top transfer quarterbacks. Sorsby was really good at Cincinnati. They were fringe top 25 team through most of the season. DJ Lagway, obviously incredibly talented kid. Lots of things went bad at Florida. Was it his fault? I don't know. We'll see. Sam Levitt, lots of injuries at Arizona State, but you could argue was basically putting that team on his back every moment he was on the field. So Levitt is also heavily linked to Indiana. And that's basically the college football news that caught my interest so far. Obviously, there's still a lot that can happen with the portal. But we get to stop talking about coach shenanigans and player re-signings and group of 5 schools deserving whether or not to be in the playoff, and we get to just watch the playoff now.
But you've got to mention one incredibly important story.
Which one? What part of my what?
TJ Finley.
Oh, yeah. And then, yes, of course, TJ Finley is now going to be looking for school number 7 on his journey.
In I believe it's his 7th year in college?
Yeah. And that's another good reminder that next year will be officially the final year of the COVID quarterback. But I wanted to show you guys this graphic just because I thought it was pretty funny. Kind of hard to see, but you get the idea.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of their motif this year of making everything look like I don't know how you describe it, but it makes everything hard to see clearly.
It's like, let's get a granite
I'm on the website
counter.
right now looking at stuff, and I do not like it.
Yeah. So these are all the possibilities for the national championship. The best one down there being, of course, Tulane.
James Madison and Tulane.
But note that they think the Hurricanes and James Madison playing second least likely. So
This is in order of likelihood.
I guess so. Maybe. I don't know. Either way, I just thought it was funny they posted that graphic. Bama plays Oklahoma Friday night. That's a fun one to put on isolation because I do actually think that's a fun rematch. We've buried Bama. We've sent Kalen DeBoer packing to Michigan. But at the end of the day, I do still kind of lean Bama in this game. I guess it depends a little bit on Ty Simpson actually, having a spinal injury or not. That's certainly a concern, and whether that's true or not. But if they're fresh, I think that despite the Crimson Tide not being able to run the ball against Georgia, I think that they'll have a little more luck against Oklahoma the second time around.
Bama is 1.5-point favorites currently, according to my little chart here.
Yeah, it's a hard game to bet on though. But yeah, that's a close line. I'm a little surprised it's leaning Bama, but they are. I do think.
It's also, I mean, they're you also have to consider the money.
That's fair. Yeah, there was probably a Bama bump. And then Saturday's going to be full of games. Battered Aggie syndrome. Really tough that they gave them a morning slate.
I was surprised that of those 3 games, this is the one they decided to stick at 11 a.m.
They said, "Fuck
I
you
personally
guys."
prefer the 11 a.m. college games, but I understand other people don't like that.
Well, it's just like, man. I mean, I guess it's in one way it's ripping the Band-Aid off, in another way it's kind of just completely fucking your day up. But yeah, I'm finding it interesting. I think James Madison, Oregon isn't going to be the morning game because it's in fucking Oregon. That's fine. But I don't see why Tulane, we should have had a flip there for sure. Tulane and Ole Miss can definitely kick off at 11. That's fine. And then A&M and Miami should have been playing at 2:30.
Maybe the thinking, are these all on the same network?
They probably are stacked all into the same network.
So yeah, maybe the thinking is people, if they have A&M Miami on first, they're more likely to leave it on the rest of the day versus.
Yeah, I mean, look, they definitely aren't banking on the ratings for JMU Oregon. I am interested to see if that game's tight, how much that might change.
I'm surprised that's not the Friday night game.
Yeah, well, I think giving Bama and Oklahoma their own night was a good idea. I do actually really like that a lot. I think that was the best matchup we have of the first round. Miami, Texas A&M second, and the other two are it's not even a competition. And I'm not a Group of 5 hater at all. I'm happy to have them there, and I'm happy for the expansion to happen. That'll make sure that the big conferences can quit their bitching, and we can still have our Group of 5. And rich people just get more money, we get more football. At the end of the day, you got to find a compromise in the bad system. So I think who do I don't have the bracket, so I forget who goes where. Here you go. I got it. No, I do have the bracket. We'll fill in. We know the conference champions are.
The winner of Oregon JMU goes to Tech.
Oh, that's not even an accurate bracket.
It's an old. The winner of Alabama Oklahoma would go to face Indiana. The winner of Tulane and Ole Miss goes to face Georgia, and the winner of Miami and Texas A&M will go to face Ohio State in Dallas.
Nice. Lots of fun picking there.
My God, imagine if the Aggies get that's a home game.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Ohio State travels, bro.
They travel, but the Aggies have the money and they travel.
I would love to see them put on. Ohio State has been,
I think if it were at AT&T, I'd think Ohio State might do better. But I think, it is at AT&T, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, Cotton Bowl Classic is no longer at Cotton Bowl. But
I mean, they don't go to Fair Park for the college football playoff.
That was the compromise. I mean, look, do you want Texas OU in Arlington?
Oh, never.
They had to give Jerry something.
I'm cold and dead in the ground.
So look,
I would like us to maybe do like what we did last year. So I would ask each of you guys to pick 2 games based on spread and just one team to win outright.
Okay.
I have the spreads here, or you could pull up. It's on the pick sheet. We don't have to announce it here, but maybe before Friday, just put it in there. We could have announced next week how we did.
I don't mind YOLOing.
There's
I hadn't
yellow
thought
right
about it
now.
till just now, so I'm not.
No thoughts. Let's just go vibes.
Yeah, I'm not touching
Yeah.
Bama No U. I'll tell you that.
Which one? Bama No U?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
touching
no,
that one.
I would say that's probably the most fuck that game. I don't know the line. I'd have to look at God. I would have to look at the line.
The line's 1.5 that I have.
No, not for that one. The
I got all of them right here.
so Miami. All right, let's do Miami. Texas.
Four on Miami. Texas A&M. Texas A&M is 4-point favorite. Tulane is 16.5-point dogs, and James Madison is 21.5-point dogs.
So I guess I would definitely take Tulane to cover.
You want Tulane on a spread? You got one more spread.
I'm gonna take Ole Miss.
I guess I would take Oregon outright and then Miami to cover as well.
I will take Oregon outright. I'm not taking Miami to cover.
Yeah, we got to play first round safe.
I'm taking A&M on that one.
All right. So then I'll pick Oregon to cover. I think they will. I think Ole Miss is going to cover that 16.5 also. I'm gonna trust those guys. And then I'll say Texas A&M wins outright. No problem.
That one is an interesting one. And like I said, the offensive coordinator stuff is notable. I'm not saying Aggies are like super heartbroken to see Colin Klein go. He was obviously very successful, but I think that there's some interest in what the offense could look like under some new direction. I don't know if this is when you want to see it, but there you go.
Last year we said pick one of these that you're gonna count for double. One of these picks you just made.
Tulane covering. I hope like hell Tulane actually fucking shows up.
I'll take Ole Miss covering.
I really think Tulane's solid. I mean, I don't think they'll win, but I do think they're way better than people give them credit for.
I don't know. I don't know. It's hilarious because if North Texas was playing, I'd be like, obviously North Texas is going to win this game. But Tulane, who beat North Texas, I'm like, no, they're not very good. I watched them play.
Well, the thing, it's also just hard for me to believe Ole Miss is going to be this ready. Like, I don't know. I feel good about their story, and I do understand. I do feel like they'll win the game. I just don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, that's fair. I really don't know. I'm totally guessing here.
But yeah, there's your college Fusion. Pretty simple week for that. We will have just kind of recap as far as I can think of.
Damn it.
Moving into the hoopla, we almost had a celebration. Now we're not even going to get a fucking banner raised.
We'll see.
And yeah, I mean, it's a little sad, but I'm kind of excited here because the IST was talked about. The IST was watched. The IST was consumed. Amazon had full control over it. It was very Abu Dhabi themed, very Emirates themed. They are the sponsor. At the same time, I was mostly happy with the product this year for the first time. I thought we had good teams involved in it. I thought that people cared about it at an appropriate amount. There was a little bit of people getting a little carried away with the rhetoric we talked about last week, but ultimately, like, everyone kind of understood that, hey, this is a fun way for these guys to make money, and a lot of the young teams were the ones that seemed the most excited about it.
Yeah, I think it's good that this is coming about at a time where there's a good young core coming up across the league, because they still want to make more money and win.
And look, for the team that ended up winning this thing this year, I think it was a really good test for them. And it was just like a reminder. Maybe this could be a bad thing. I think you could argue maybe the Lakers and the Bucks winning the last 2 years has actually given them some false confidence in rosters that they should have probably done different things with. But with this one, the Knicks were kind of starting to be in Giannis rumors. And unfortunately, we don't have a trade to announce that. I was really excited and hoping they would. There was like an aggregation salary thing where you had to get one done by like today at end of business. and none of them went through. So I'm sure that'll probably push
You know,
them.
I think like weren't there some that if you got them traded by today, they would be eligible to be traded again before.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
they would. Yeah, there was an aggregation thing, and no one took advantage of that. It seems. So probably at this point, don't be surprised if we don't see a trade until the second deadline that opens up on January 15th. But the Knicks have been good. They've been in Giannis talks, and that would obviously really shake up the core they just built and really looked good with. Probably should have beat the Pacers with. But here we are. Nothing you can do about that. Mike Brown's the head coach. This roster is basically the same. And they're just playing better and more fluidly. You have Dirk Nowitzki talking about how he's taught OG and Anunoby how to shoot the ball better. And now he's looking much better from that. And if OG and Anunoby's shooting
It was a bit jarring for me seeing Dirk doing one of those like sit down TV things.
They're good. I have some
He's fine. It was just jarring because I've just never seen him do it. So I was like, oh shit, it's Dirk.
I don't know if they need 5. I think Nash and Dirk have a fun chemistry. I think Blake Griffin's awesome. I think Udonis Haslam's really good. I don't know if you need all 4 of them at the same time all the time.
And I assume you heard Silver like glazing them.
Oh no, he called them all 4 great players that carried franchises at one point, and I was just like,
I meant like the broadcast itself or whatever, like the whole Amazon deal. He was like throwing shade at ESPN without saying ESPN.
No, yeah, he definitely. Well, they were talking. I mean, they've done a good job. They've done a good job of even mitigating some of his worst PR nightmares too. I mean,
he was mostly just talking about like actual basketball coverage. Like I think specifically he's talking about like he said other people will like just spending like an hour on they wanted it more.
Yeah, no,
that might be a shot at the TNT guys. I actually don't know.
I think it was a little bit more directed at TNT, but TNT is now ESPN technically in a way. So
yeah.
Either way, for Adam Silver, he had a couple other notes I thought were interesting. So he said that semifinals are going to be in market in the future, which I think is a good call. They don't need to be in Vegas the whole time, and they don't necessarily need to be in Vegas the whole time, which I thought was a little interesting because that also came paired with his comments on for the first time in maybe a year.
Welcome to Saudi Arabia.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe in a year that we've heard about expansion in a serious way. And Vegas and Seattle got brought up again, and he said that that's still a real possibility. Again, that could just be lip service because we already had a firm deadline of like by now we should have been watching at least one, if not both of those rosters playing, and those teams are being formed. So it's hard to believe, I think, for a lot of people at this point, but that's allegedly what's happening. Yes, they could be going to Abu Dhabi or however for this game, but I think he named college arenas first, so that would be an interesting little tour that they would do every year.
Yeah, I would assume they'd start at I forgot what Duke's called already. It's got a really famous Cameron.
Yeah,
Cameron
Indoor. Yeah,
I've actually got to shoot hoops there once. Anyways, it is weird that they play like all the what do you call it, like the pool games on these ridiculously obnoxious courts, and then for the real games they're like, all right, we'll put you guys back on a regular basketball court.
No announcement on whether or not we're going to be stuck with the IST, but it's with the IST courts, but it's note that I don't mind it,
just tone it down a little. Just tone it down.
I don't know what to do about it.
Like, man. these aren't like 50s CRT black and white TVs that you're trying to broadcast on.
You may have noticed this because the Lakers and the Spurs played at one point during this, but Luka had them get rid of 2 of the courts. The Lakers played 2 less games with the IST court.
He was complaining about them being slippery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe that's enough with the injury stuff happening in the NFL. It's also mirroring the NBA is having quite a hard season when it comes to injuries. So,
and my last note on the IST, obviously, Wemby, we found out that he was playing after learning of his grandmother's passing. So that was a pretty emotional thing. He still played all right. I mean, he didn't have a good game, but better than you might think for someone who was visibly struggling on the bench.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair to note. It was a great game. I mean, they jostled back and forth, and I think
the Thunder game was more fun, but
a very physical. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's
not even just because they won, but I just mean like it was close.
Six man of the year, Wemby. Yeah, it was a good one. In Wemby, I think the most fun that we've had over this like last week or so is learning that his shit talking game is quite elite as well. And Dirk
He's
Nowitzki
the
doesn't like it, but
He's
I
the
love
best in everything.
it.
He's not telling you that you're bad at basketball. He's saying the way you play basketball is bad.
He well, I mean, look, it comes back to bite you, and maybe this. I know he doesn't give a shit, obviously, because of what was going on in his life, but he
He's
called
not
out the
wrong.
Knicks for their physicality. Like they don't play good brand of basketball, but they're more physical than everyone else. And that was the case here. They out physicaled them.
There is the caveat of him complaining about ISO ball, and then it's like, all right, man. Well, I've seen us play, so
Yeah, no, I think he's a very opinionated young man, and I think my final thought is I do think we should shame Dolan a little bit here.
for the
Because
banner thing.
So Dolan, and it's more than just that. So Dolan didn't even go and do the whole
Oh, he
trophy
didn't
thing.
take the trophy.
Didn't do any of it. I mean, he was very anti-ist, which is like I'm not that butthurt about it, but I'm also just like it's kind of strange, man.
I get not being like in full throated support of it, but I don't understand what your problem with it would be.
Like you're a part of this brand, right? Like,
I guess maybe if
like,
you like really want to be like, oh, I don't want my players playing one extra game in Vegas where they could get hurt, but
yeah, I don't even think he gives a shit that much.
he definitely does not, based on the way he's run that organization. So,
and I mean, it's just like the Knicks are good for the first time. This isn't a participation trophy. Yeah, it's not the Larry O'Brien. I get the drought is a very long thing and annoying thing for the Knicks fan base.
you think they'd be desperate for a banner to put up?
Well, and if you look at the sentiment online, most people are happy with it. I mean, they've got Harry Styles and Billy Joel banners in there, but they can't get.
Well, if I remember correctly, the Lakers said they weren't going to, and then they got a talking to from the league.
I think that they ended up. I thought they
have it now, but they originally came out and they were like, "We're not going to put something up."
I don't remember, but yeah, they. I thought the way they did it was really notable.
And then Adam Silver said, "What if you get Luka?"
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
fine.
I mean, I thought the way that they did it was good. I think the Bucks ended up doing a full banner with it.
No, the Bucks have, or at least they might have converted to the way the Lakers. I think they now have it the way the Lakers do.
So yeah, I thought that was good. Just a generic banner. It's like a division banner trophy, and you just stack them all.
Way
up.
better than a division banner trophy.
Yeah, it's cute. You know what I mean? Whatever. I just people.
I like it. And I hope that because it seems like the young guys like it, that'll make more fans like it, and it'll make more players coming in. You know, it seems like it might actually be progressing towards people care. And that's what I want.
I think there's some changes people want to still see, like maybe it should be single elimination. You know, just something.
I would almost rather it be separated entirely from the season, but
and maybe there's a way to pause the season and just do the start of it.
Tournament all in one place. That'd be great.
I think from a scheduling standpoint, you can see the wisdom here, where it was let's have this sort of be, even if we're manufacturing it, our start of the season
At least separate out the semifinals and the finals from other regular season games. I didn't they were like alternating with regular season games.
Oh, okay. Like give everybody time. Well, you can't
do it a weekend.
They don't have enough luxury to do all that unless they can
find 3 days.
I think the reality for the NBA
take them out of the get rid of the All-Star game and just throw the freaking cup right there.
the reality of the NBA is they probably need to go and expand the season about a month or so. Just
like the calendar,
but the calendar needs to, unfortunately, they need to start sooner probably, and that's probably the way that you actually get guys appropriate amount of rest. It's not going to be an easy sell, but that's probably what ends up being the long-term solution.
When were the bubble finals when they started? Because they started around Christmas that year.
Right? The bubble was weird. No, the bubble was like March, or no, it wasn't March. That one ended up being weird because.
Well, okay, sorry. The finals after when they started, because the next season
they started it right back up. Basically, I think they gave them a little bit. So like probably
they pushed
November,
the start of the season till
it was probably maybe November. No, I think they rushed them.
I thought
back.
Christmas Day was like the first of the 2021 season. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, you can look that up.
That's when they should be starting.
Yeah, but that's not going to work either because that's like you're living in ideal world, but we gotta live in real world where we have to make a lot of other things. Check boxes need to be checked.
Well, it just seems like for the brand of the NBA, it would be better to separate themselves away from the NFL as much as possible, anyways. But
ticket revenue,
December 22nd,
getting
2020.
people in the door, having athletes play more. I think that
they ran December through May regular season, July finals still.
Yeah.
That's fine. Do that.
Right. But again, like whenever everyone said that when it happened, are you going to pay the extra checks? Because no one's giving up money they already got. This is the same reason the NFL can't stop.
What does that mean? Who's losing money?
There's not 82 games getting played in that time span.
They did 72. That's fine.
They're not going to do that. They're not going to pull that off. They
don't even make much out of it, do they?
You're not shortening the hockey season. You're not shortening the NBA season.
The NHL season's expanding.
You're not shortening. You're not
literally already expanding.
You're not shortening the MLB season, and you're damn sure not getting the NFL to give back a territory. It's going to take like these leagues to start going under before you start seeing regression of games, because that's still a big deal.
I need the NBA to cull like 6 teams and 10 games off the schedule.
I think what you're looking at is the NBA needs to start sooner. Have your IST. Your IST gets you to this deadline where the trades now start to get interesting, and then that part of the news cycle happens as football's winding down. You start to capture the cycle, and then boom, by Christmas, you start to have the interest of the league again. Then within that end of that month, by February, right after the Super Bowl is the trade deadline, more or less. So now rosters are finalized, and who's got this team? Who's got it's the best way you're gonna get. Realizing
the problem there is that trying to start a season in late August, early September is going directly against the start of the NFL.
Well, you wouldn't need to necessarily go that early. It should, at this point, they start Halloween, basically. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I think if you started at the end of at the beginning of October, at least at the very end of September, I think it'd be fine. And again, who's the audience? You're not really competing against an audience anymore in the modern world. Like the NFL is always going to have the NFL's audience. You're always going to have your audience, and then you're going to get the general audience when it's your time. You know, that's the way sports has always sort of worked. It's like when it's your time, then general audiences will care about your sport. But for that whole part of the season, for you to make money on those tickets, for you to everybody keep their game checks the way they want.
They actually don't have to even retract the 82 games. All they have to do is only put one day in between playoff games.
No, that's true. There's definitely plenty of criticism.
Every time I look at like the calendar, I'm like, why do hockey and baseball or hockey and basketball last as long on the calendar as baseball? It's because the playoffs are just so inflated with days off.
The playoffs are incredibly inflated, which I'm still fine with. But yeah, I think there would have to be a compromise to make it all work.
Okay, sorry to completely derail you there.
No, I mean it's fine. That's the basketball point that we're at. Like I said, no trades to announce. Nothing too frisky. Lots of rumors.
Did the Chris Paul stuff already happen also last week?
Yeah, we've already gone and hit the Chris Paul thing. There keeps being more coming out with that, but I don't know that it really matters.
To me, it just keeps making him look better and them look worse, or at least him look the same and them look worse.
Yeah, I would say he looks the same, and the Clippers just continue to look the same. Actually, if you think about it.
Yeah.
There's not much to say when it comes to that. We will be debuting the NBA board. Let's just have a little fun with it for 2 seconds here. This one has. I'm
gonna redo this eventually to not be so whatever.
No, I think that makes it.
Perfect. It was fun. It was fun learning how to make it.
I like it. There's a lot going on, but I like it.
Yeah, I definitely didn't need to have you going that fast, but the problem was the file can only be so big on our streaming service here.
So I just wanted to test this out to see how it looks.
The more polished it is, the work I feel like it takes away from what we are. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit, but there's a level of still wanting it to like look sort of right. There's still rules. There's rules to making it look this poor.
I will need to work out how I'm going to do this, but I think my plot was to kind of go through this by division. So I'll probably make these a little bit bigger, do it a different way.
Yeah, you could do one for each, or Yeah, you're
Yeah,
pretty much
well,
have
it's
to do it that
all
way.
that is a screenshot of my OneNote, so nothing special there. So I'll find a way to make that look fun as we
Turn it
go.
into a PowerPoint. We'll use the present option we never use in here.
Fucking dying, dude. Honestly, that's not the worst idea, but
I don't know if the sounds come through, but if you could do some really old PowerPoint transition sounds for no reason. Swoop.
God damn it. So the next 2 weeks gonna be iffy. We'll talk about that as the holiday. Well, next week definitely not, and then the New Year's Eve we'll talk about. Then all of the month of January, I'm just really hoping like hell that we have enough interesting trades and or games happening that we can kind of keep a lot of the momentum with that. We might just do specific Mavs Spurs check-ins.
We might need the full month to break down the Rangers 40 man. So,
but then, like I said, the deadline is going to be around the start of February, and then once the post Super Bowl show happens, I'm going to try to do division by division breakdowns to catch everyone up before the playoffs. I wanted to wait that long, mostly just because if rosters aren't finalized, I'm not going to sit here and explain rotations that aren't going to goddamn matter at the end of this thing.
no, for sure.
Right now, we're just going to kind of coast with it until rosters are set, and then you can pontificate.
Well, go Spurs, go.
That banner's coming. I don't know which one it'll be, but there is one coming.
Yeah, fun. So I guess that'll be the first half of this week. We'll be back with the Professional Football League. Bye.
I'm confident every day, to be honest. Very good. Very good. Yeah.
Okay. You appreciate his compliment?
Say again?
You appreciate TJ's words for it?
Sure, that's my guy. That's my guy.